There are different types of prayer according to what you're praying for. Are you praying for a blessing? It requires a different prayer. Are you praying to step into the promise? There's a different prayer. Are you praying for a healing? There's a different type of prayer. What does God train us about to pray? We pray. The Bible tells us that when the disciples asked Jesus, teach us how to pray, he told them, pray like this: Our Father who art in heaven. That is a prayer of asking. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us. That is a prayer of deliverance from the evil one. So within that prayer, there are three dimensions of prayer that were there: a prayer of asking and a prayer of deliverance. Okay? When you read and go through that prayer, you'll find that they later learn to thank God. So when you're coming in the presence of God and you're asking for things that are already given unto you, you pray a prayer of asking. When you're praying for you to step into a blessing or a promise, you need to start with a prayer of deliverance. Pray to detach yourself from the things that are limiting you to step into that promise or that blessing. First of all, trace down from the generations before you what has been limiting them to step into that which you're praying for and what you're believing God to do. Right for. When you're asking your boss to give you something, do you lift yourself up? So when you're asking God to do something in your life, humble yourself before the Lord, and He shall see your heart desires and He shall fulfill them. Okay? So when you're praying a prayer of deliverance, there are things that you need to bind. There are things that you need to cast away. What do you cast away? You cast away bad habits. You cast away bad spirits. And what do you bind? You bind things that were there in generations before you. You bind things that are standing as a wall. So when you're casting a spirit away, you don't deal with a spirit the same way you're supposed to deal with an altar. First of all, you have to deal with an altar, and when you pray through something, that means it has not been done yet. But when you pray in, that means it has been applied and it has overcome. So it only has to come and deal with that is required. We ask, we deliver and break and bind, but we forget to thank God. Thank God for being with you in that prayer. Thank God that He is going to do it, and thank Him that He has heard and listened to you. Do you think it's a very easy thing to listen to everyone in this world? It is not. He understands a thankful heart.